Good morning. It is Thursday, April 9th, 2026. This is your deep dive daily briefing. I am your anchor, delivering a comprehensive analysis of the pivotal events that have defined the last 12 hours. We begin our broadcast on the world stage where a major diplomatic development has occurred, though its stability remains deeply in question. On April 8th, the United States, Israel, and Iran agreed to a 2-week ceasefire in the ongoing conflict. This 11th-hour truce was brokered by Pakistan, successfully heading off a deadline set by United States President Donald Trump to launch a severe bombing campaign against Iranian infrastructure. The framework calls for an immediate halt to hostilities and a 15 to 20-day period of negotiations. However, the agreement immediately threatened to unravel as divergent interpretations emerged on the ground. Israel unleashed its heaviest attack of the war so far on more than 100 targets in Lebanon, resulting in at least 254 fatalities. While Iran and Pakistan asserted that the ceasefire included Lebanon, the Israeli Prime Minister and President Trump disagreed, with Trump describing the situation in Lebanon as a separate skirmish. Consequently, the United Arab Emirates reported intercepting multiple ballistic missiles and drones shortly after the truce announcement.
Transitioning from the front lines of diplomacy to the broader global economy, the initial announcement of the truce sent immediate shockwaves through the markets. In the hours following the ceasefire declaration, crude oil prices dropped sharply below $100 a barrel, prompting a significant surge across global stock exchanges as investors reacted positively to the prospect of restored trade flows. Domestic economic indicators also reflected this shifting landscape. Data released on April 8th showed the average interest rate on a 30-year mortgage in the United States settling at 6.25%, while the 15-year term stood at 5.75%. After a period where rates had surged past 7% due to uneven economic reports and mounting geopolitical tensions, a recent decline in the unemployment rate and the potential calming of overseas conflicts are beginning to offer borrowers a tentative window of financial relief this spring.
In the realm of finance, global institutions are increasingly focused on the structural risks associated with emerging digital assets. The International Monetary Fund issued a stark warning this week that the rapid transition toward tokenized finance, which involves shifting stocks, bonds, and cash onto blockchain-based systems, could accelerate future financial crises. The IMF cautioned that instant, 24/7 settlement capabilities and the proliferation of privately issued stablecoins could remove traditional market buffers. Because central bank emergency facilities are traditionally designed to handle business hour crises, the unprecedented speed of tokenized transactions could heighten margin call risks beyond the current capacity of regulators to respond. The organization is now urging international policymakers to act proactively by clarifying the legal status of tokenized assets before the architecture of this new financial system becomes permanently entrenched.
Turning our attention to the technology sector, the integration of artificial intelligence continues to expand beyond traditional data centers and into orbital infrastructure. The European Space Agency has officially detailed its strategy to deploy artificial intelligence across its entire engineering and mission lifecycle. The agency's 2025 AI Compendium outlines 31 specific activities designed to enhance space system performance, improve mission operations, and generate advanced data insights. This initiative underscores a broader continental push to secure a competitive advantage in space innovation through AI. Concurrently, the industry is heavily engaged in examining the implications of these advancements, with upcoming global tech summits in Geneva and Singapore focusing on agentic AI, which involves systems capable of autonomous decision-making and the philosophical challenges surrounding human uniqueness and emerging forms of digital agency.
Finally, we examine the logistics and supply chain networks navigating a highly volatile maritime environment. A key component of the newly brokered Middle East ceasefire was Iran's commitment to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, with commercial transit scheduled to be coordinated under Iranian military management. However, following the Israeli strikes in Lebanon, Iran halted the passage of oil tankers, officially citing a breach of the truce. Furthermore, the International Air Transport Association has warned that global jet fuel supplies will take months to recover regardless of immediate diplomatic outcomes. In response to these persistent geopolitical shocks, freight forwarders and supply chain leaders are increasingly turning to advanced technologies. The industry is actively shifting its focus toward utilizing agentic AI to deploy autonomous operational models, seeking to build intelligent, resilient networks that can insulate global trade against the unpredictable disruptions of tariffs and sudden maritime blockades. That concludes our global briefing for today. Thank you for joining us.